15 MCU cosplays your mom would not approve of. Cosplay is a world where the only limits are imagination. On film, for example, Marvel's sexy Black Cat is hard to cast in a family-oriented superhero story, and there are hard practical limits on how many movies you can make about so many different characters from the Marvel Comics archives. Cosplay characters, on the other hand, can range right from G-rated to NSFW. They can bring to life comic book faves that don't get their fair share of screen time in the movies. And they can pose alternate versions of familiar characters that you've never even thought of. A great cosplayer starts as an ever greater fan of Marvel Comics and other sources of inspiration. From devoted amateurs to professional costumers and makeup artists who work in film and TV, our list of Marvel cosplay excellence features a wide range of cosplayers. They include convention circuit faves along with up-and-comers, all of whom have combined their fandom with their art. Do movie makers ever get any ideas from cosplayer talents? We think they should, and when you see the kind of creativity these cosplayers display when portraying their favorite Marvel characters, we think you'll agree. 8. Gilly as Invisible Woman. Cosplayer Gilly fills out the stretchy blue uniform of Susan Storm Richards, the Invisible Woman of the Fantastic Four, really nicely. Gilly describes herself as a costuming, gaming, comic book readings, cooking, and caffeinated nerd from Toronto who's been a nerd since birth. Her addiction began with Batman, she claims, but that hasn't prevented her from taking on a variety of roles, including the Marvel superhero team member. In interviews, she's said that comics are her main inspiration and really considers the characters she takes on cosplaying. Gilly has won awards for her costume making and is ranked as a master costumer. 9. Anita as Cyclops. Anita has an impressive resume beyond her obvious cosplay expertise. She's a fitness model, industrial designer, host of a TV show called Gamertag, and more in her native Mexico. She's also a social media star, with more than 310k followers on Facebook alone. She makes her own costumes from scratch and is a fixture on the convention circuit. You can find her streaming on Twitch TV and working as a community manager for Spanish-speaking fans of CD Projekt Red. You can put Nadia into a male character's costume, but we don't think she looks like a guy at all in her Cyclops cosplay. Nadia calls herself an addicted cosplay maniac, but we're not advising any treatment. 10. Elodie Fiao as Black Widow. Elodie Fiao is a bona fide celebrity in her native Philippines, where she's a cosplayer, actress, model, and singer. She's appeared in TV and films and has a following of 6 million on Facebook and over 660k on Instagram. She began cosplaying in 2003 at the age of 15 and hasn't looked back since, with a repertoire that now includes more than 40 characters from anime, movies, and video games. She's been voted into the 100 Sexiest Women list by FHM Philippines several years in a row. We'll just add that she looks fantastic in the slick, skin-tight Black Widow gear, her attitude matching the badass latex vibe. 11. Lexi Strife as Mystique. There are a few logistical problems with cosplaying Mystique. If you're just doing a photo shoot or staying indoors, body paint is the way to go for authenticity. If you're out in the public eye, certain additions to the costume may be necessary. Lexi Strife is a French cosplayer and model who's been a cosplayer since attending her first Japan Expo back in 2004. Her name is a reference to her favorite Final Fantasy character Cloud Strife, but she dabbles in characters of all kinds from the worlds of anime and comics. She credits her super cool dad with helping her make her costumes, especially the armor. We're guessing dad didn't have much to do with her sexy and minimalist take on the shape-shifting X-Men character, though. 12. Jessica Nigri as Black Cat. Black Cat or Felicia Hardy has had a love-slash-hate relationship with Spider-Man over the years in the comic book world. They've been allies, enemies, and even lovers. Through it all, her sexy costumes were naturally a fan favorite, although not without controversy, on occasion. Jessica Nigri's version of the Spidey's former girlfriend ramps up the already sexy quotient of the reformed burglar's costume to white hot. Jessica Nigri is often called the queen of cosplay, and it's photo shoots like this that have garnered all the attention, and rightfully so. From the hair and makeup to the background, this pic is sizzling. We're still waiting to see whether Felicia Hardy will appear in any future Spider-Man or even Sony Spider-Verse movies, but in the meantime, we can enjoy the efforts of cosplayers like Jessica. 13. Myra Cole as Psylocke. As a character, Psylocke has had bit parts in X-Men, The Last Stand in 2006, and 2016's X-Men, Apocalypse, but not the treatment this kick-ass character really warrants. In the comic book world, she's been around since 1976. Psylocke has telepathic powers in the body of a female Japanese ninja, combining that martial arts expertise and supernatural insight in a sexy costume with that shiny purple hair. Self-described model, professional film/TV costumer, makeup artist, and Uber nerd Myra Cole Burns lives and works out of Atlanta, Georgia. She's done makeup for TV, including AMC's The Walking Dead and movies like X-Men First Class and Fast 5, and her professionalism certainly shows in her cosplay, too. We love her dynamic take on the powerful X-Men character. 14. Hecate Borafluc as Elektra. Spanish cosplayer Hecate Borafluc describes herself as a geek and gamer, and says she began cosplaying in 2009 as what she thought of as a side project. Lucky for us, it's come to take up more and more of her time. She calls herself a small, sweet person, but we think her cosplay of assassin Elektra is sexy with a believably dangerous edge. After all, those blades of hers don't have to be large to cut, just very sharp. Elektra is a favorite among Marvel comic book fans, but on screen, we'd have to say that she hasn't yet had her due. French actress Elodie Yung, who, we note, is also slight of build, gives her a credible version on the Netflix series Daredevil, but her story is worthy of its own treatment, we feel, especially if she looks anything like Hecate's cosplay. 15. Crystal Graziano as Ms. Marvel. Crystal Graziano got started in cosplay after seeing Final Fantasy VII cosplayers at SDCC a few years ago. It inspired her to try, and she's been rocking the cosplay world ever since with her hot and highly detailed versions of her own fave characters from the worlds of anime, manga, gaming, comics, and movies. In the comics, Ms. Marvel is a role that's been taken by a number of characters, including Carol Danvers and, most recently, Kamala Khan. Crystal adds a new twist: Moonstone, the anti-heroine who's also sometimes a supervillain. Moonstone takes on the Ms. Marvel persona as one of Norman Osborn's Dark Avengers in the Dark Reign series, 2008-09. On social media, Crystal posted that she loved the idea of cosplaying a villain who was essentially cosplaying a hero.